You can't keep a good villain down.
Dr. Robotnik!
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 long-running video game villains. For this list, we'll be looking at the bad guys that refuse to give up and have made multiple appearances throughout their respective series. We'll only be looking at individual characters, so factions like the Covenant won't be showing up here. Our choices were based on a mixture of fan votes, popularity, and our own personal preferences. Number 10, Ridley, Metroid series. When you think space pirate, the last thing you'd expect to come face to face with is a giant mutated pterodactyl. Unluckily for you, this beast is highly intelligent and simply refuses to die. The archenemy of legendary intergalactic bounty hunter Samus, Ridley is the one responsible for her parents' death. As you can imagine, the two don't exactly get along as a result, but this rivalry has given way to some of the best battles in the entire Metroid series. You can blast him to pieces all you want, but chances are he'll just come back with a brand new cybernetic makeover and a serious grudge. Number 9, M. Bison, Street Fighter series.
I don't know who you are, nor do I care.
Of all the fighting game bosses out there, none have been more persistent than this cloaked menace. Regarded as the poster boy for Street Fighter antagonists, Bison is both the boss of the criminal syndicate Shadaloo as well as the dictator of a Far East country. Not only does he have multiple governments in his pockets, but he's also a powerhouse in his own right.
This place shall become your grave!
With the hilariously titled but devastating psycho power at his disposal, Bison keeps on coming back tournament after tournament, no matter how many times Ryu knocks the crap out of him. Number 8, LuChuck, Monkey Island series.
Another group of recruits for my army of the undead.
The heart wants what the heart wants, and in the case of this undead pirate, all he desires is the affection of the beautiful Elaine Marley, and to kill her husband and series protagonist Guybrush Threepwood while he's at it.
LuChuck's giving me a bit of the business.
LuChuck isn't one to take no for an answer, and despite being constantly rejected by Elaine and thwarted by Guybrush, he ends up reincarnated time after time in order to try anew.
Elaine shall pass through the hoary gates of Big Whoop, just as I once did.
You have to admire the dedication of someone who manages to transcend death so many times he ends up coming back as a ghost, a zombie, and even a demon. That is quite a stalker you have on your hands, Elaine.
How do you expect to be elected once I tell everyone you're really LuChuck?
Number 7, Dr. Neo Cortex, Crash Bandicoot series.
This time I shall reign triumphant.
You reap what you sow, or in this instance, what you make in a lab. The egotistical mad genius responsible for the creation of our favorite Bandicoot, Cortex has been defeated in his every endeavor by Crash. While he certainly had an air of threat about him in the first few entries of the series, he has since become a lot more comical due to his growing insanity over his constant losses. While we do hate to kick a man while he's down, there's nothing more hilarious than ruining the Doctor's plans over and over again until he suffers a breakdown. Kudos for persistence though.
And a woman with nice big bags of eyes for my head.
Number 6, Kane, Command & Conquer series.
Now, my son, you must help me unveil Phase 2 of this campaign.
One way to ensure that your villains keep coming back for multiple games is just to go all out and make them immortal. Case in point with the enigmatic leader of the Brotherhood of Nod, known only as Kane.
You can't kill the Messiah.
Seen as a messiah figure by his followers, this charming sociopath masterminded events that would lead to what is known as the Tiberium Wars, before spending decades at a time in obscurity and then re-emerging to take control of the Brotherhood once more.
Once in, build up an arsenal of weapons and use them to wipe out the remaining GDI presence.
Biblical in name and terrorist in ideology, you're not safe from his wrath whether you're friend or foe.
A full frontal attack with your strongest forces should render their military center of operation.
Number 5, Ganondorf, The Legend of Zelda series. Some call him Ganon, some call him the Dark Beast. All you need to know is that this Gerudo is the greatest threat that Hyrule has ever faced. The reincarnation of the demon Demise, Ganondorf is a master of the dark arts of magic and a wielder of the Triforce of Power. He's kidnapped Princess Zelda and battled Link over numerous games, and each time he manages to brush off death to take on the next green-mantled hero. His lust for world domination seems to be unquenchable, and no matter how many times we get to see him stabbed with the Master Sword, we know it's only a matter of time before he comes right on back. Number 4, Dr. Wily, Mega Man franchise. While Sigma was certainly a fitting villain for the Mega Man X series, we couldn't deny the good doctor his turn in the spotlight. Maybe if he had just been given a little recognition, he wouldn't have turned into such a bastard.
However, I don't have time to deal with you!
Being the sorest of losers, Wily turned on his partner Dr. Light, transforming the robot masters they had made together to help mankind into killing machines. While he may have constantly been bested by the Blue Bomber, Wily has no shortage of robot masters at his disposal. As long as he keeps building them, this twisted inventor won't stay down for very long. Number 3, Dracula, Castlevania franchise. The most famous of all vampires didn't just dominate the silver screen. Serving as the primary antagonist of the series, the King of Bloodsuckers has been bested by multiple members of the Belmont family, as well as his own son, Alucard. But no matter how many whips, stakes, or swords he's slain with, he always manages to come back with a fresh taste for blood and a hatred for mankind.
What is a man? A miserable little pile of secrets!
Whether he's the main enemy in need of besting, or it's just his legacy felt through other characters, the Castlevania series wouldn't have endured if it weren't for Dracula. We raise a glass of blood to you, Vampire King, just don't make us drink it.
For what profit is it to a man if he gains the world and loses his own soul?
Number 2, Dr. Eggman, Sonic the Hedgehod series. Mad scientists seem to be a running theme for this list, and the most persistent among them has got to be Dr. Robotnik.
I'll turn over a new leaf, I swear! Just give me a chance!
The antagonist to all citizens of Mobius, this rather round man has only one goal in life: to kill that pesky light-speed hedgehog. Despite an army of robots under his command, Eggman has never won a fight against his nemesis. We do give him credit for thinking up so many genius, and in some cases plain old crazy ideas to best Sonic, such as the Death Egg, Metal Sonic, and the Eggman Fleet.
Alright, Eggman, let's get this party started.
While we're always waiting to see what contraption he's gonna build next, you'd think that after all these losses, he'd know when to call it quits.
Wow, will I really get that crazy?
Before we reveal our number 1 pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Not this time.
Number 1, Bowser, Super Mario series. When it comes to kidnapping princesses and taking absolute defeat in stride, none can top the King of Koopas. For over 30 years, Bowser has been battling it out with Mario and Luigi for control of the Mushroom Kingdom, and every time he's come up short. Despite a never-ending series of castles, an army of minions, and the ability to grow to an immense size, Bowser always ends up getting his comeuppance. However, that certainly hasn't stopped him from trying. As long as there's a plumber to squash and a peach to snag, no pun intended, this fire-breathing beast won't be backing down anytime soon. Do you agree with our list?
A failure. Like you?
Who's your favorite long-running video game villain? With new top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.